Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Divine Union podcast. I'm really, really excited about today's episode because it's based on what I'm going through in my own life right now. So, I'm going to do a bit of storytelling about my journey landing in Mexico because today we're going to be discussing unlocking the flow, how to embrace synchronicity and align with life's rhythm. I love this topic so much because I feel that the ego, the mind, at a subconscious level. If any of you have read Existential Kink, it's such an amazing book, by the way. And it's all about our subconscious and how we have certain kinks. So we attract into our life what it is we deeply enjoy, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, right? Our body can thrive sometimes on cortisol. So this episode is about like the mind sometimes wants to make molehill. What is it? You want mountains out of molehills. Yeah, like make challenge when we don't have to. And so this episode will help teach you how to embrace the flow more easily, something that I've been working through here, and how to notice the synchronicities, what's happening around you to help guide you in life when you might feel confused, especially if you're a traveler like me, you know how difficult that vibe can be to try to figure out where it is you want to be, where you want to land, what feels true. And if you're even trying to make a major decision in your life and just tuning into your intuition, tuning to your into your gut, this is going to help you have more clarity as to how to navigate. So I landed in Mexico about 3 weeks ago, and it's been a journey. Came from a conference in Denver with one of my mentors, Shoshana Raven, this amazing live mastermind. It was so incredible, like hundreds of women. And my travels to Mexico have been rocky. Like I missed two flights, my missed connections. The airline had to put me up in a shitty hotel for the night because that's what they do. So it was just like this nightmare getting to Mexico. And so first I actually want to say, I asked the universe when I was in Bali before I went to this conference, I said, okay, I want to go back to Mexico. Show me. Now, you can ask the universe when you are unsure as to a decision, what to do. Now, I'd like to be mindful, right, of what percentage are you asking for things? What percentage are you tuning in yourself? Because any relationship can become codependent when it's unbalanced. So if you're relying on work too much, asking a friend for help too much, right? Anything, um, Googling things too much, right? It can be unbalanced. So finding that balance. But the universe is a really powerful tool when you fully trust and you don't have resistance, because it can feel when you have resistance and you don't actually believe it's going to give you the answer. But when you do, you can ask for things from the universe. Gabby Bernstein talks about this too. She inspired me to start this process of like, you can say, show me a bright green gecko if I should rent this house. Yeah, I'm unsure. Show it to me within 2 days. Or show me a green light if I should make this decision. Show me a red light if I should not. Show me a yellow if I should pause. All right. So you can ask for things. You can also ask for number sequences. So for me, what I did was I said, okay, Mazunde is where I lived last year. I said, but I also really wanted to explore Oaxaca City. That's where I am now. It's a little precursor to the story. So I said, show me the number sequence of 2121 if I should go to Oaxaca City. Show me 6969 if I should go to Mazunde. Show it to me within 24 hours. Yeah, and I had no resistance. I really trusted. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. My friend put in this idea, number sequences. I'm like, let me just go for it. And also, what the universe does when it answers is it also like tunes into your own subconscious too. So if you're unsure, right, it's also using that. It's not just like the universe, an external thing. No, you are the universe. You are divine. So it's also tapping into your subconscious and guiding you based on like what it is you really want, or what's aligned for your higher self. Maybe something you don't even realize, but your higher self knows. So within 10 minutes, I pull a tarot card. And now the numbers don't have to be like exactly in a row. Can like sometimes the universe surprises you like that, you know? So I get my card and it's like a number 18. It gives me a message. But the actual page number was 021. And then I turned the page. And then the next page was 213. So it was like 21, 21, right? Like, oh shit, okay, fuck yes, let's go. Oaxaca City, baby. So I book my flight for Oaxaca City. I get ready to go. I end up like meeting this girl at a cafe in Bali, and we're happen to be sitting next to each other. And we don't chat, but then we like go line up to pay, and I see she's got a New York t-shirt on. And I'm like, ah, New York, baby. And she's like, nah, I'm actually from Oaxaca City. I was like, what? Like, I'm going there. Let me ask you some questions. So we start connecting, and we both are getting a ticket to go to kirtan at the restaurant. They also have a kirtan happening in Bali. And we're chatting before the kirtan. We sit next to each other at the kirtan. And something like prompts me to ask, like, oh, who's staying at your house while you're gone? And she's like, funny enough, I had this friend of mine who was going to stay there, and last minute she canceled. So I don't have anyone. I was like, can I stay there? She's like, yeah. So I literally instantly, within 2 days, now I have a place to stay in Oaxaca City. It's incredible. Let me take a sip of my water here. And this is how the universe works. This is synchronicity. This is noticing the flow. Like, whoa, I got the sign. I meet someone. She is a house. Now, part of my instinct might be a little bit of fear, like, oh, it's too good to be true. I'm going to self-sabotage it. And it takes a lot of work to like expand our capacity to receive. That's one thing. And to listen to what's happening around us. Excuse me one moment. Oof, something went down the wrong pipe today. Haven't eaten yet though. So expanding our capacity to receive and then like listening, paying attention. And we got to be in slowness to notice that. So I work it out with her. She's got like a friend who's going to leave me the key. I'm going to go there shortly after my conference. And so the funny thing is, as I'm on the way to Oaxaca City, and the universe loves to play with you like this when you're open to it. And I love sharing about this. I don't often share about my like inner experience and communication with the universe, but my flight number was like 02100. So like I had that sign. And then my seat number on the way to Oaxaca City, it was like 21C. I'm like, what? 21 flight, 21C. Like it was like the craziest things. I had the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, yes, I'm going to Oaxaca City. And so I get there, and it just so happens like the sister I met in Bali, her house was just like much further than the city. It was isolated. It was like an hour away. It didn't fully resonate with my nervous system. And so a pattern of mine, something I'm working with, is sometimes when like the things that are hard get hard, I can like pick up and run. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be here. Or the truth is my nervous system was a little uneasy, and I couldn't hold the anxiety of like, okay, I need to reset. I need to find a new place. This place just isn't landing. Or maybe there's medicine for me here, right? And I wasn't listening. So I learned from this, and I picked up and went to Mazunte, which is only like 3 hours away. You can take a bus there. So it's super easy in Mexico to get around that way. And I went there because I'm like, I know Mazunte, it feels easier for me. And when I get to Mazunte, everything goes wrong. Like, and I'm going to tell you so you can feel into like when everything goes wrong, that's also the universe telling you something. Hey, you're in the wrong relationship. Hey, this path is like a challenging one. Maybe reconsider. What can you learn from it? How can you grow? How can you assert? Maybe it's that. Maybe how can you grow through it? It's always that. But often as well, it can also be a sign of like life doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to have so much challenge. Things can be easeful if you can expand your nervous system to receive and trust the universe that things can be easeful, that you deserve it. So everything's challenging. I'm like navigating it, fighting it, and it's also expanding my nervous system to withhold the challenge. So I thought at first, okay, that's my lesson. Like I rented a scooter from a friend and it broke down. A friend, also good things were happening. Like a friend helped me find a place that looked amazing. But then when I was at the place, all of a sudden, like the most eeriest thing, the internet wasn't working for me only. It was working for the owners. It was working for the neighbors. I couldn't Google anything. I spent like 3 hours on the phone with Apple thinking it's my new Mac over here. And that's like, when something like that happens, that's greater than that's the universe. Yeah. And that was my sign of like the universe telling me, like, this isn't the place. Don't lock this shit in for 6 months. And so I was like bouncing around for the past 2 weeks, having been sick, in the middle of this launch of Inner Union, my amazing program. That's why it's now pushed out just 2 weeks to the 15th, the start date, because I need more time to like get all the things ready. So it is rolling out the red carpet for those queens that join and the no queens that I know will come through in this meantime as well. I said now, but I mean the new queens that will join as well. I'm so excited. Got an amazing group. And it just gives me more spaciousness. But so yeah, things have been so crazy, and I stayed at a friend's place for a couple days, which was awesome, but it's still like it's not my own sacred space, which I need, I love. And so all of these things were going wrong, and I'm like laying in my bed and I'm like sweating my ass off because Mazunte's freaking hot right now. And I realized, oh shit, like my energy. I asked the universe for a sign. Show me another 21 if I should go back. Now I didn't get my sign this time. You know why? Because the universe had showed me a sign and I bought it. And when I landed, I ignored it. I fled because things got hard. And I'm laying in my bed at night and I'm sweating my ass off. And I'm like, okay, my energy doesn't function well in like extreme heat. I can't create. I don't feel good. I don't feel like a spring chicken. I'm exhausted and drained of energy. So I'm like, shit, insight bubble. I gotta go. I gotta go back to Oaxaca City. There's medicine for me there. Even if it wasn't that house of that sister I met, there's something there for me. So I realize I enjoy my last day in Mazunte and I pick up and I go yesterday. And the funny thing, another synchronicity here, yeah. So the bus that I take, they're like these little coach buses kind of vibe, like 7 people in there. And the bus that I take back, 3 hours back, the number is 69. It's like universe like joking with me, like, yeah, you're taking 69, number 69 out of Mazunte back to Oaxaca City, like another synchronicity. I love when the universe does this. It's like the hilarity of life, It's like, fuck yes, I see you. I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna dangle you like on a little string, like a cat does, with its toy. And I arrived back in Oaxaca City yesterday and I'm having the best time ever in nature, just like clowning around. I needed like a break to just enjoy and walk around and see this place, all the charm that it has. It's a really, really artsy place, and I love art. I love old churches. I love different textiles. I love like walking the streets, people watching. They've got the square. It's called the Zocalo, where everyone's playing music, hanging around, eating ice cream, all the charming things, and filled my soul. I realized like, oh, my body relaxed is where I'm supposed to be. And the universe shows us, it guides us. And I have had this happen 2 years ago where I went to Costa Rica. I wasn't supposed to go. I was supposed to go to San Cristobal, Mexico. And everything went wrong for the month I was there. And my bus ticket said San Cristobal on it, which they have that in Costa Rica. I Googled it, but it was like 10 hours away. I was only going like 20 minutes. And there was a sign, go to San Chris. And I went to San Chris and everything went smooth. And so, how do we align to life's rhythms in life when we're traveling in relationship? It's like paying attention, listening. Are you meeting people that are saying things to you? Are you seeing interesting signs? Is there a word that you keep seeing? Yeah. If you're feeling down and out and you keep seeing like 11, 11, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, universe is telling you you're divine. It's here. You're guided. So how do you expand your energy, shift your energy to trust, to deepen into trust, to deepen into to belief and gratitude so that more things can unfold for you? If you're walking on the street and you meet a random stranger and they give you uh or maybe you're buying some fruit at a fruiteria and they give you some free fruit. Yeah. Like let yourself bask in that. Ooh, synchronicity. I was supposed to come to the shop to have this random conversation with this person. Maybe someone just can. I've had this happen to me where someone just like comes to you randomly on their street and they're like, I got to give you a message about X, Y, and Z. And even if it doesn't feel true at the moment, yeah, just like simmer on it. That's interesting that that happened. That person just told me this. This friend just called me and gave me this piece of guidance. What can I maybe take from that? And noticing those things, paying attention to those things so that we can work in coordinates with the universe, in flow with the universe. When I was in tons and toxic relationships, yeah, that was like universe trying to guide me, break free of my karma so that I could live my dharma. Yeah, Sahara Rose talks about that. Karma is like not a negative thing. Like the point of it is to guide us so that we can live through achieve our dharma. It's like these guidelines. I'm going to put these things in your way so that you can break through, come to the light from the darkness. Yeah, and then go back to the darkness because it's all both. It's cyclical. Life is cyclical. But it's like, okay, I'm in this toxic relationship. What's the message? How do I wake up? What's the learning? How do I grow here? I'm so excited about this topic. I feel so in flow here because I love storytelling, sharing, and I really deeply, deeply believe in this. And many of us, myself included, by the way, can also at times have a mistrust for the universe. That's why I don't always like to ask for things because it's not trusting it's got my best interest at heart. You know why? Because when things go wrong, I feel frustrated. Why me? Why don't you look out for me, universe? Instead of like, what's the message in here? How can I expand more deeply? How can I be even more in flow? And it's a learning, it's a subtlety of listening, right? Because even in Mazunte, I'm like, okay, what's the message? Can I be more in flow? Can I expand more? And so I really tried, yeah. In the challenge, I'm like, okay, today I just got no internet. This week I have no internet. It was that bad, yeah. It was like, I'm gonna just try to relax into it. Yeah, I've got some pre-recorded content that's going out, right? For those days I was way more productive. I'm gonna go with it. But then a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, this isn't working. I feel I'm fighting the flow because right now, if I'm not creating, I don't feel enlivened. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a launch. I have so much to share, so much to create, so many people in my DMs that I need to get back to. Yeah, inquiring about the program. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna choose somewhere more suited to that flow. I need some grounding. I'm going to the mountains, baby. I need me some fresh air, my greenery. And so it's like, it's that dance of listening within, listening to the universe, feeling into your own energy. You can also ask for signs, ask for symbols when you're unsure. Show me in my unconscious. And sometimes we don't like to ask because we don't want to hear what it has to say. Our mind wants to function and what we want. Before I went to home to Chicago to visit my family, I had asked the universe, I said, show me a red guacamole or if I should go to Brazil. I was like playing. It's the first time I ever did that. And I said, show me a frog if I should go to Peru. Show me an elephant if I should go to India. And I had this dream. And in this dream, I'm like talking to these people, and this guy hands me keys And on the keys is a keychain and it's a pink elephant. And in the dream, I like became lucid and I was like, what the? This has nothing to do with the dream. Does this mean I'm going to India? Is this where I'm supposed to go? I was like, no, I had resistance because India's far. It's the other side of the world. I was working like way early in the morning, way late at night, but I made it work with my clients. I made it work. It didn't inconvenience anyone. It didn't inconvenience me, but it was worth it. Got to see that side of the world because I also love to travel. I love to explore. That's a huge part of my being that fills me up. I love change, novelty. Got that masculine energy. That's my masculine side, freedom. And so, like, I just can't be. Show me another elephant. And so the universe shows me another elephant. A sister of mine on Instagram had posted something as her as the elephant woman. And I realized I actually saw that 2 days prior when I had asked for the sign. It didn't click. But then it clicked when I asked everyone, guess where I'm going? And then she also sent me an elephant emoji. And I was like, okay, fuck, yeah, it's happening. It's on. Ticket booked now. Done. Right? There was medicine for me there. And so I love just I could just keep going on and on, but there's so many moments like these. And notice that. Or if you're thinking about someone and then they call you, or they're like, I'm thinking about you, because the universe can feel that energy. Or if you just get off the call with someone and then you like look up, maybe you're outside, you see a big billboard with a word on it. Yeah, it's like, what does the word say? Does it relate to the call? Noticing all of these signs, all of these things, and the universe has your back. The universe is going to guide you into your highest form of life. That's why we also meet people who are like our mirrors, our teachers, because they also serve to empower us to keep growing and changing. Someone triggers you, where's their medicine? Yeah, a while back when I was living in San Cristobal, Mexico, this is like, it was this like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah. No, not that long, maybe a year ago. And I actually had a podcast episode on it. Now, a sister uh, shared some ideas from my book, which my book is years out, by the way. It needs to be fully baked. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I can't wait to share it all around passion and polarity. It's my second book on that. And stay tuned, baby. I'll be sharing more as it gets closer. And she started like sharing some of my ideas online. You know, some things I was just chatting about, yeah. And another sister of mine had used the name Divine Union for one of her programs. And it's the name of my podcast. That's going to be the name of it's a name that I use, yeah. And it really like what was the medicine for me there? Medicine for me there was like stop waiting because at the time I was like that was going to be the name of a program and I was working with wild feminine at the time, wild woman energy. And that like it gave me the, push. Okay, inner union. That's it, baby. I'm claiming it. It doesn't mean like other people don't use that term, right? And even Divine Union, it was my couples program. Yeah, and I've changed the name over time. But like this is it. It's like this is what the lesson. It challenged me to just like balls to the wall. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just do what I want to do. I'm not gonna wait. Yeah. And I know because I trust that my life path is different than someone else's. And what I envision and what I see in my soul when I time travel, what I know to be true with my life, yeah, is gonna happen because I feel it. And because universe is going to make it happen no matter what. Because justice, as Richard Rudd in the Gene Keys has, and he says it in one of my Gene Keys in the meditation, justice is built into the script. You don't know that, but the universe knows that. The bad guys never win. Yeah, not in the long term, not in these many lifetimes, the cyclical lives that we have, all the karmas, yeah, that we acquire. It's built in. And if you're living in alignment, if you're listening, if you're doing, following your heart and your soul and your intuition, baby, it's coming for you. everything that your little heart desires is going to unfold if you believe and you trust and you stay in alignment. I'm like lifted up recording this episode. I needed to hear this. I needed to hear this today. Ah, yes. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful people for tuning in to this week's episode of Divine Union. If it touched you, if it resonated, leave us a comment, leave us a review in Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. It would mean so, so much to the podcast. This is how we spread the mission. This is how we energetically exchange, yeah, and support the things that impact us and spread the mission, getting more people tuning in to intimacy with themselves, with the universe, with the people around them, greater perspective, connection. That's what we're here for. Oh, love you, love you, love you. Gracias, gracias, gracias. I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, may all your unions be divine.